I'm Barbara Messer from Kitchens by Design in Iowa City.
And I'm Rebecca Neades, a happy kitchen remodel customer.
So Rebecca, how did you hear about us? How did you hear about KBD?
So I've known of KBD and Kitchens by Design and you for a long time. You were very involved with our Chamber of Commerce for many, many years and are big in giving back to the community and have a great reputation. So it was an easy choice to contact you.
Awesome, and I appreciate it. And you've sent me clients and I appreciate that as well.
You're welcome.
So what was the goal of the kitchen remodel when you contacted me?
So, as you may recall from the early pictures, this was an outdated kitchen, and really it was not very functional. It was too small. I always say it saved my marriage because my husband and I had a hard time being in that small kitchen together, and so it was just time. It needed done.
And did you have, when you came in, I believe actually I came over here first, we took pictures, went through everything, went through some of your goals, and one was definitely more storage and more organization, and you like stuff hidden away for the most part, but you had beautiful dishes that you always wanted to show as well, right? Did you have glassware?
I do, but I don't have that out right now.
Okay.
I change it.
And I believe you felt that we couldn't do a whole lot with the floor plan because it was a smaller space, and I said, let me just play with it, and we played with it. And when you first came to look at it at the showroom on the screen, when we were looking at everything, it was surprising to you to have the refrigerator over there, if I recall.
It was. It actually blew me away because in my mind I had envisioned what I thought we could do with this kitchen, and I was pretty set that my way was going to be the perfect plan. But you wanted to play with it, and I thought, of course. And what you did was really expanded the footprint. You moved the countertop to this side of the wall and rotated everything about 45 degrees. And it made such a tremendous difference. We got rid of soffits. But really, what was key is you had the eye to see what I couldn't see.
Awesome.
And I was pretty sure
That's
I was
exciting.
right.
That's exciting.
I was wrong.
And you were very open to it. You were, you were, it took you a little bit, but like, I think we went over this area a lot of times with, do we have seating, do we not?
Right.
If I recall, I feel like we went over it quite a bit. And without moving walls, we expanded the floor space. So really we stayed within the parameters of the kitchen. We didn't tear out walls. I think we lowered a wall. No, I don't even think we lowered a wall.
No, you got rid of a half a wall
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but it was replaced by a cabinet.
Right, so without moving walls and appliances they moved, but it was electrical, it wasn't anything that really made the budget a lot higher. So we were really careful also with marrying the budget and the space and getting exactly what you wanted, knowing that you were gonna get what you wanted.
Well, I'm not shy about saying what I like and what I wanted to live with, and what was really nice to me was that you were able to marry that with your vision of this kitchen and keeping the soapstone, the countertop I really wanted, and I wasn't willing to forego. And so you were able to make some changes, and one of them was by not moving walls. It saved us a lot of money there.
Because at one point you thought about maybe going out, and
I did.
just didn't, there was no real reason to.
Right.
It was a lot of cost for not a lot of gain at that point.
correct.
So yeah. So, and squaring everything up because there were weren't there angles?
An angled sink,
That's
which
right,
I
in this corner.
never liked because you would do the dishes into a corner.
Mhm, yeah.
So
Yeah, so that opened up the floor space, and you're right, going up to the ceiling
yeah,
does the same. It just looks like a huge space compared to what it was before.
it does.
And do you have more storage?
Oh, I absolutely have more storage, which is fantastic. And you said I like to display dishes, but I'm always rotating things around. So it's fun because I can kind of, it gives me a blank slate to kind of decorate around. And I'm really pleased. I thought I wanted this, but then you encouraged me and saw my vision of having the dark cabinetry with the white. The white really gives me, again, a way to display and have that space feel open with the warmth of, a couple of the cabinets being dark.
And it's almost like that's kind of like a furniture piece,
Right.
or a little more,
Yeah.
and that's more the utilitarian area or something.
Agreed. Yeah.
So, do you recall any things we ran into that were
Well-
difficult? Because in remodels that happens, unfortunately, and it's how we handle it that makes or breaks the designer.
Actually, of course, supply chain, right? But you communicated the entire time.
Oh, good.
Where things were, when they were coming, if there was a delay, because I think we had some cabinets that didn't come in at the same time. But you called me right away and said, here's what we've got and here's what they're doing to remedy that. It was great. I mean, we all understood that, we were in the end of a pandemic or in a pandemic, and so that was one thing, just your open and proactive communication. The other thing is that I really wanted runnels in my sink. I like to cook, especially in the summer with vegetables, and it needs a way to drain down into the sink. And I'm tired of cutting corn off the cob and having it drip off my elbows. So, and at least twice you told me no, they wouldn't do it for me. May have been more times than that.
And you were persistent, which is good. You wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I waited a long time for my kitchen, so I wanted it.
And we ended up getting them. We finally got an answer that we were looking for, and she loves it.
I love it, and every single person that comes over to my kitchen notices them
That's awesome.
and wants to know more about
awesome.
them. So
That's awesome. Good.
yeah, they're beautiful.
I'm trying to think. I want to say, we also started this remodel with no contractor.
Oh yeah, that
So,
doesn't happen.
Finding a contractor was very difficult at this time. This was when, cabinet lines were out a little ways. Yours weren't as far as some of them, is what I went to. And it was before the tons of price increases, thank goodness. Maybe I shouldn't say.
Don't say that. Cut that out.
But it was.
Well-
And it's coming back. But okay, so we couldn't find, you didn't have a contractor. We brought someone over and he looked and he never got back.
Yeah.
And then we persisted.
I reached out to a couple
That's
more.
right. And I think,
So the timing, you matched me with a contractor that turned out to be perfect. They kept the project moving. I think it was a blessing that I didn't get the
I think
first
so.
few because, things work out. But it was a little scary.
it was scary because we had to measure everything and order everything. So there was one little area where we were unsure of. We figured it out, but we measured everything without the contractor who was going to install. And a lot of contractors have their way of, they have specifics that we want to do it this way, not this way. And I usually talk with them, but there was no one to talk to at that point. So we just did it, and he went with it. And I've worked with him many times before, so that was a good thing. But so that worked out well. There weren't really any huge glitches, I feel like. There were some damaged parts, unfortunately, but they were replaced.
Yeah. I feel like anything that you could control was perfect. There are things that will happen in a project, or you might get a damaged, cabinet in or something, but you can't control those things. And so you worked immediately to get them resolved.
And you were awesome about when I called with cruddy information, something I didn't want to relay. You were understanding every single time, which helps a lot. It helps a lot.
We can't control everything.
No, I know, but
But look what I got.
I know. It was worth
It worked
it.
out.
It was worth
It
it.
worked out great.